Guys, too much negativity. Every single news, it's crisis. Guys, how are we going to survive with our babies? How are we going to raise our children in this continent? How are we going to raise the next generation? What is the future of this continent if every single news we see is just crisis after crisis? What is the future of this continent? The children of this continent are crying, weeping. They don't have hope. They don't have help. They don't see anywhere. And you have leaders and you have organizations like you do nothing to bring about peace into this continent. At least try your best. 1 year war is going on. More than 30 years in Congo. This is the journey to one Africa. All right, guys, welcome back to SNOA. And let me remind you guys that you have an opportunity and ability to sign up for membership here at SNOA to support the work we're doing. To be honest, there's a lot going on, and we're still planning to visit other countries as well in the continent. So if this community has been blessing you and it's a source of some sort of bringing hope, you know, to your thoughts and prayer about Africa, you know, please, you know, consider to support. But also you can like, you can subscribe, you can share, and you can do all those stuff. We'll really appreciate you guys for being there. I'm gonna share with you guys the news. Actually, last week it was the first year. Basically, I wouldn't say anniversary, but it was the accomplishment of 1 year since the Sudanese war started. 1 year. And within 1 year, a lot of people have died. A lot of people have been displaced across the world. Sudanese conflict is not really covered enough, because everything in the media right now, it's about Israel, it's about Russia, it's about Iran and Ukraine. But Africa, we don't really cover enough. And it's very sad, because even African medias and African countries, we don't really talk about this enough. We don't give air enough, as if we have, like, as if it became normal. We just agree with everything that is happening to our neighbors. And I gotta say this, man, shame on us Africans. Shame on all the medias in Africa. If you're not covering this, shame on us for not covering the Sudanese crisis, for not covering enough. Shame to all humanitarian, you know, organizations. Shame to all the organizations, all international organizations. Shame to you, because you're not covering enough what is happening in Sudan. And not only to you guys, to me as well. Shame to all of us for not giving too much attention. How do you think Sudanese people feel right now? They feel like they are alone. Nobody's there with them, because nobody's talking about this. Okay, here at SNOA, I would say this, guys, we've spoken about it. We've done live stream, we've spoken about it, so perhaps it's less shame on us. But it's been 1 year, guys. Do you understand? Let me tell you this again. Like, people are fighting, two groups are fighting in the country for 1 year. No services, no education, no nothing, and people are living away. They've been displaced. No country, guys, no country. War, it's happening again. 1 year, guys. So to my fellow Sudanese people, I'm sorry that we're not covering this enough. And I promise that we have to do better than that. And for the entire medias of Africa, listen and hear me loudly. Let's not us be like a Western media. Cover only the media that give us interest. No. We must cover every single news. We must stand with our people. And for the rest of Africa, I know in Ethiopia things are happening. In Congo things are happening. Guys, but we must pay attention to our own conflicts enough and to help our people. Yes, there's a war going on in Israel. Yes, there's a war going on in Russia. Yes, everywhere. But we cannot deal with everything, man. Charity begins at home. We gotta start with home first before we go anywhere else. And home is calling us back. Sudan is calling us back. And this news today came out that what has been identified as a major factor prolonging the conflict in Sudan? And the answer will surprise you, will shock you, because Sudan's horrific war is being fueled by weapons from foreign supporters of rival generals, UN says. So external support, particularly in the form of weapons, supplies from foreign backers to the warring factions, has been identified as a major factor prolonging the conflict in Sudan. This includes specific mentions of alleged support from countries like Egypt, and indirect aid through groups such as Russia's Wagner mercenary group, showcasing the complexity and international involvement in the all right. Okay. All right. All right. I gotta be very careful here. Very, very careful. Okay. I don't have the answer to this, but my question is to Sudanese people. What do you guys feel about this? Do you think the war that is happening in Sudan is being supported by Egypt, also by Russia? I want to know from Sudanese people. Because I'm not going to stand here condemning another African country if I don't have the real evidence. And I'm not going to stand here condemning another country, the country that has not been involved in the conflicts in Africa. It's like today when you say that, you know, China has been supporting one group in this country to kill another. I'm going to be very careful to take that, because I know that. I know the foreign policies of China, and I'm not siding with China, or I'm not siding with Russia, or that is not my hope that we should side with them. No. But I know these people have never been involved in the conflicts in the continent. Have not been putting their nose in our businesses. So I'm not going to sit here and start condemning the countries that UN says, the general say from the UN, without having a concrete evidence. You can't just throw accusers to another country. This is the same thing that I've been talking about Rwanda and Congo. Some people, they think that I've been paid by Kagame. Some people they've been thinking that I love Rwanda more than Congo. And that's not the case. I love Africa. I love African country. I love Rwanda. I love Congo. And I would love to visit Congo. And I'll go there when the time is right. But the problem that I have is that I should sit here and take everything that maybe United States say or France say about another country, about two countries in the continent. I'm not going to bow down to that. I'm not going to allow myself, I'm not going to limit myself very little to think about that and to take everything they tell me. No, I'm not going to do that. I refuse to do that. So instead, I'm going to ask you guys. You guys let me know in the comment section. Let me know who is responsible. Is it Egypt as we see here? Is it Russia? Is it somebody else? Because obviously the wars that are happening in Africa always have been fueled by somebody else away from the continent. But who are those people? That's the question that we need to answer. And African Union, please, it's a time for you to give answers. Because if the conflict has been going on for over 1 year, a whole long year, what are you guys doing? That's why we need reformation in African Union. Because what are the answers you have? Okay, if Egypt is involved, what are you guys doing to stop that from happening? If Russia is involved, what are you guys doing? I mean, guys, let me just say this, man. The reason why I'm frustrated with this, it is because I love this continent. I dearly passionately, with my whole heart, I love this continent. I love the countries in the continent, guys. I never have a side. I don't have sides. When it comes to continent, my side is the continent. That is my side. But when you accuse someone, for instance, I'm accusing African Union. I'm accusing them and I have the evidence. Why? Because the war's been going on for 1 year. It's been 1 year, war is still there. What are you guys doing? What is your job? What is your work? I can accuse you like that confidently, asking you that. But I can't accuse anybody else if I don't have concrete evidence. Otherwise, I'll be basing my evaluation based on my emotions. And guys, if you're from Sudan, if you're from Congo, don't want me to think the way you think. I don't have a concrete evidence. I cannot stand in the court and be like, you guys are involved and these are the evidence. I cannot do that. If I have that, I can say it here, because I might say here and my words will be used against myself. If I'm being brought to the court today, what am I gonna say? What are the evidence do I have? So when you come up with this accusation, you need to come up with the concrete evidence. I see this news, but I see nothing. The UN political chief described the Sudanese conflict as a crisis fueled by foreign weapon violation of UN sanction. That's what is happening all the time in the African conflicts. But who is involved? Who are those people? We know, even in Congo, we know somebody's involved. Don't tell me it's Rwanda. We know someone is involved. We know it. Don't tell me it's Rwanda. That's a very cheap answer, because somebody's above that. Who is that? That's what we need to know. African Union is supposed to be giving us that. United Nations is supposed to be giving us that. You're not giving us that, then what? Why are you there? Why are you there? Why are you there? Man. Guys, sometimes it has been 3 days I did not make any news. I did not come here to talk about anything, because there's too much negativity in the continent. Guys, too much negativity. Every single news, it's crisis. Guys, how are we going to survive with our babies? How are we going to raise our children in this continent? How are we going to raise the next generation? What is the future of this continent if every single news we see is just crisis after crisis? What is the future of this continent? The children of this continent are crying, weeping. They don't have hope. They don't have help. They don't see anywhere. And you have leaders and you have organizations like you do nothing to bring about peace into this continent. At least try your best. 1 year, war is going on. More than 30 years in Congo, war is going on. In Ethiopia, ethnicity and everything, man. What are you guys doing? You don't care about this continent. Let me tell you this. You don't care about this continent. We put people on the position who do not care about this continent, not care about their future. Leaders are concerned about the next generation and not the next election. We put leaders who do not care about this continent, do not care about the future of our children. This is the continent we're living in. This is the reality of our continent. Go on the news, see news, all of them here. I'm looking at them. These, 3 of them, the 3 recent ones. Today, every single day, negative, and that is what is trending online. You have Sudanese conflict, more than 1 year. You know, you have like people died because of flood. You have like, you know, hunger. You know, you have like God, help us all. Help this continent. Help this continent. We need to put the right people in the position who are going to change this continent, who are going to stop these things from happening, because it is possible to stop them. But we need the right for the right job. But sadly, most of us, we just base our decision on our emotions. Who is not going to hold us accountable? Right now, we're advocating for AU chairperson, the next one to be PLO Lumumba, because we know that the job will be done, will be delivered. But sadly, that's not what a lot of us want. We want someone who has just the image of being there like as a leader, but they do nothing. They do nothing. They do nothing. Where did we get here? Why we cannot work for our people?